Hello everybody, this is Jill Burrows again. I'm just giving you another update on my map progress. So here we have a map of the world. The coloring is all approximate, it's all based on height. And there's a couple of spots that you're probably noticing. These two poles are missing some data. So right now they're just white because, well, there's no data there. The other thing that is missing is there should be huge ice sheets right here and around over this way. But they're not there because I haven't added them in yet. And I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm just going to create essentially an overlay that goes on here that shows where the glaciers were, or if I'm going to try and color it in at the tile level. Either way works. One is probably going to look a little bit better than the other, but there's definitely a whole bunch of work that needs to be done. So let's go ahead and zoom in here, and you can see that I've got a decent amount of detail, but not the greatest. And yeah, I'm actually doing this live off of the internet. So it does take a little bit of time to stream in the new tiles. And this was made using what is known as the GEBCO 2019 data. So it's not the most detailed, but it's pretty good. And there's a couple of other data sets that I could pull in order to make this a little bit more detailed, like the GMRT data set and some of its source data sets. And then there's also some US data sets that I could pull in to make that a little bit more. But let's zoom across over here. So this is Hawaii. When you normally think of Hawaii, you probably think of just these islands right here. But in this particular version, you can see that there's another chain of islands out this way. Now, since I actually haven't simulated like the Earth or anything, this is just using modern day data, this is probably not necessarily accurate because I'm sure there's been a little bit of floor rising due to tectonic activity and volcanic activity. But that's something that I'd have to look into and find some more geological data and see if I can maybe simulate that at all. And then moving over this way, we can see that there's more islands, that are just right out here in the middle of the ocean floor, or at least what would be if it weren't higher than it is right now. And here we've got a landmass that you might recognize connected to some islands above it that you may also recognize. It just looks so different in this map. And we've got a whole bunch of more land mass here. And most of this is ocean today. But in this map, it's pretty much all land. And then, yeah, so that looks pretty cool, but I have no idea if that was all snow or not. I'd have to do some actual weather simulations in order to figure that out. But that's going to take a bit more of doing. So I might just change the color scheme on this and take another 3 days and re-render the tiles so that there's no snow on it. And then eventually I can simulate a layer that has the snow and glaciers and stuff. But yeah, so there's there's Africa and some of the other islands. But I mean, this is actually pretty cool. I really like the way that it looks. There's a couple of things that I'd probably change. And I definitely would like to add in more details here on the ocean floor. but I limited this tile set to approximately 600 megabytes in size. So, and the original data that it comes from is about 12 gigabytes. And most of the information is on like the actual land masses. It's not quite as detailed on the ocean floor, but there are definitely some other data sets that have more of that detail that I can pull in and do this. But the more detail that I pull in, the longer it takes to create the tiles and the more computational resources I need in order to do this. So, that's a potential issue. But right now, this is what I've got. So this is live on the internet. That's over on my site at adaburrows.com/ice-age. But yeah, have fun, play around with it, and hopefully GitHub doesn't decide to charge me extra for all of the data traffic. I don't know how that works, so we'll find out. But it's pretty cool to look at. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Have fun. Take care.